this smaller here. So if you want to do a single stitch, you can go from one side to the other side, and you're always going to go from the buckle to the lingual, or you can go from a flap that is moving and grab your flap, and if this is not a flap, this is attached still to the bone, you can go from the mobile tissue to the fixed tissue. Okay? So once you go through, you pull, make sure you have a short string here, and then you're going to go and pass it around your needle driver twice. You grab your tail and then slide. Okay? Now, the next one is going to be the opposite. So if we wrap it around this way, now we're going to go this way. And grab and pull. And the last one is that's the first one. Just one time. Wrap it, grab it, and pull. And then you grab both. Okay. Now, everything is pretty much the same, except for little changes, but your knot is going to be the same for everything. If you want to do a running, you're going to start the same way. If we're going to run it from here, let's say to here, we're going to start the same way, from the buckle to the lingual. Pull your needle. Make sure that you don't have a long strain. And then wrap it around 1 and 2 times. Grab your tail. And pull it. Now we're going to go backwards, right? This way. Only one time. Grab it and pull. And we're going to go around the other way and pull. Because we're going to run it, we're only going to cut this one here. And we're going to continue with the same needle. So we're going to continue from the buckle to the distal. We grab the needle and pull. Again, from the buckle to the lingual or the palatal, and then we pull. Okay. And we just continue. That what's the name is continuous suture. So buckle, palette, and you pull. So what happened when I go to my last suture here? Let's say I'm going to close here. I go the same way, from buckle to palette, or from the flap to my fixed tissue. And I'm going to do the same thing. except for I'm not going to pull all the way. So I'm going to leave a little string here. That's going to help me to do the knot now. Okay? Before we had a string here, right? So now if I completely pull it, we're not going to have anything, but I just leave something so I can grab and do my knot out of that. Okay? So you go around twice. 1, 2. The first one is always 2 rounds. So you pull, and you do one backwards, grab it, and pull, and one forward, grab it, and pull. And then you have to cut the 3. Okay, that's a run. If we want to do a mattress, horizontal mattress, we're gonna grab, it's a kind of like a figure 8. You're gonna go from the buckle, always start with the buckle, but this time you're gonna start from, let's say, buckle, mesial. And you're gonna go to the lingual of the palate, but you're gonna go to the distal. Okay? So what you're doing is you're crossing. You're doing this line here. Okay? From mesial to distal. Now, because we're doing like a figure A here, we're gonna come back from the palette, we're gonna go to the buckle, but the buckle distal. Okay? When you come back, we're gonna check if you really have an X in between. Because if you don't have an X in between, it's because you didn't do it right. So if you look, if you do like I did, you're gonna have an X in the middle. Okay? So from the buckle, starting from the mesial buckle, you go to the distal and the palate, and then you go from the palate again, but on the